Good evening and Happy New Year to all.
Good evening, Mehernosh.
Good evening. So, how are you treating
evening.
2004? How's the year beginning?
Good evening, sir.
Evening.
Happy New Year, Mehernosh.
Happy New Year. So, how does the year look like? How has it started? On what note has it started for you?
Good evening, Mehernosh, sir.
Good evening.
With full of energy.
Awesome. Good. Good to know that. So, starting on high energy, very good. Well done. The question is, what are you going to do to retain and maintain that energy throughout the year? Okay, so a quick sharing. You can type in the chat box or you can unmute and share. What does the new year look like for you? Exciting, awesome. Same
Looks
story.
like
Yeah, these.
full of hope and promises, depending on us.
Yeah, very good. Hopes and promises is a good thing, provided it is put in the cause mode, not in the effect mode. Yes. So depending on us, that was a very important and powerful rider that Aziz shared. Good. New beginning. Yes. So what's new? What's new about this beginning? I keep seeing these memes and all that. Calendar ही बदला है. Boss भी same है, घर भी same है, office भी same है. तो
Our
फर्क क्या?
goals are different. Our focus is different. So
Good,
there's
good to-
renewed energy towards the new goals.
Good to know that. Good to know that. Okay. Good. What more? Tell me more about the new beginning. ऐसा क्या change हुआ है apart from the date, apart from the year? Goal has been set and full of energy. Superb. Good. Very good to know that. Mental status. Good. Good. Yeah, renewed energy. Good. Very good. So, how was the after effect of last week's RRR? Were you able to come up with some more insights, more reflections, and more actions to take forward, more vigor, more energy to go forward? A collective consciousness towards new beginnings. Good. I'm charged to fulfill my dreams. Awesome. Good. Different mindset. Yeah. Living a life of choice rather than default. Good. Good. So last time I asked you one question, and even if you have missed last time sessions, no problem. You can still watch the recording. They'll still be there till this Sunday on YouTube. If you have not watched it, please go and watch it. One question I want to start with or carry forward from what we discussed last time. And this is, even if you have missed last time, you can still answer that question. So no problem. And I want to think about it and then answer. Okay, think about it. If you were to put one word for 2024, what is your word for the year? Skillful. Speed. Wow. Awareness.
Fulfillment.
Fulfillment. Nice. Action. Focus. Good. Focus energy towards goals. Refer to my notes and have many thoughts. Okay. Okay. I'm reading the earlier comments. Okay. My own choice. Transformation. Victorious. Action. Exciting. Productive. Mindfulness. growth, unbiased observation and acceptance. Okay, I asked for one word, but chalega. Okay, no excuses. Okay, growth. Let this be the theme for your year. This will be your theme for 2024. And what do you need to do to keep reminding yourself of this underlying theme for the year? Action, action, action. Yes. What tools from NLP can help you? Reflection, anchoring. Yeah. So today's session, we are going to look at certain tools from NLP that can help you in 2024. Okay, I have thought of recapping 3 powerful tools. Maybe they are not new to you, but the way we will discuss it will be with the context of the year 2024. And I want you to take it in context of the theme, the word that you have put in the chat, the word that describes your year 2024 for you. Okay, so we'll see which ones we'll go about. The idea is to recap and cover 3 topics. If possible, depending on time, we can discuss more, of course, and we can also touch upon a bit more. Beliefs of excellence, anchor, yeah, outcome clarity, well-formed outcomes, goal getting and anchoring. Yeah, we'll see which ones are good and which ones are, of course, all are good, but which ones are going to be most relevant for you. Okay, behavioral flexibility, achieve, anchor, goals getting, good. All right. So let's begin. Let's put an intention out for this session. The intention is that we are going to make 2024 the best year ever. Are we all ready for it? Are we ready to KGF? Keep going forward. Super. All right. So, when we look at the year, when we look at our individuality, our personality, our identity, at whichever levels of logical levels we are operating from. Before we look at this particular year, I want you to decide which are the various roles that you are playing in your life. As an individual, what are the various roles that you are playing in your life? Can you type in the chat box some examples of roles that you play in life? Domestic, professional, yeah. Teacher, mother, wife, sister, yeah. Mother, wife, teacher, daughter, sister, roommate, classmate, parent, employee, yeah. Aspiring leader, coach, mother, wife, yes. Mentor, daughter, friend, son, brother, husband, superb. Best friend to someone. Yes, and I want you to think about, very good, thanks for sharing all these examples. I want you to think, each one of you, to write down. I'm sure you are having a paper and pen handy with you. Okay. You will participate by chatting in the chat box over here. That is fine. But this chat will go away. So I don't want these discussions to go away. So whatever you're discussing, write it on paper. And keep that with you so that we can reflect on it as we go ahead in the year as well. So write down the major roles that you play. And for each role that you play, also write down the person in relation to whom you are playing that role. For example, if you are a son to your parents, if you are a father to your son or daughter, husband, wife, who is the person in relation? So I want you to write the role and the person in relation. A mentor to whom? A coach to whom? A leader to whom? Yeah, speaker to whom? Now here, in roles like coach, speaker, mentor, you may say your audience. Yes. So who is that target audience? There will be multiple people, but what category of people would you put over there? Learner. Yeah, learner to whom? Good question, Nawaz. When you're playing the role of the learner, it is in relation to whom? Inspiration. Yes. The role of being an inspiration to whom? Knowledge, insights. Okay. For whom? Who's the person involved there? Hi, exactly. Self. And Upma has already written that self motivator. In all the roles and relationships that you're describing, remind yourself that you are the most important person in your world. And when I say this is not from an angle of being selfish. There is a difference between selfishness and self-love, self-compassion. You are the most important person in your world. And that does not mean disregarding other people, but that means that if you choose to give importance to other people, you can give importance to other people only when you consider yourself the most important person. Only when you give that love, that importance to yourself, then you'll be able to also give importance to others. So write that down also. In fact, that should be the first one. The role that you are playing with respect to your own self. And the role that you're playing with respect to the other people, yeah, even they are all the roles that you have. Okay, for those who just joined in, I've asked you to write all the roles that you play in life and with respect to whom. And in that relationship, also put in yourself. What roles are you playing with respect to your own self? As an inspirer, as a learner, as someone who is responsible for your own growth, maybe even for areas of your health and fitness, your finances, your relationships. Of course, you're playing role with other people in relationships, but even for your own self. Now, Pinaki has written driver of my car. Yes, even that's an important role. Okay, your contributor. Yeah, contributor to yourself, contributor to others. Yeah. Your mentor. Yeah. Healer in the clinic. Yes. So your profession is there, whether you are working in a job, whether you are doing something on your own. And notice as you write all this, notice that there is an interrelationship between the various roles as well. Especially the role towards yourself and the role with others. They are all related. But even roles with others, even they are related. Become aware of that. Yeah, lover for self, true. Okay, now that you have written that, you can just look at what you have written. Okay, put the paper aside, look at the paper, sit up straight. And reflect on each of the roles in terms of what do you want to create in that role for yourself and for the other persons that you have written. What do you want to create in 2024?
So, create as in, could you give an example?
So what difference you want to bring in your relation with that person with respect to this role? What will get enhanced in 2024 in this relationship as you play this particular role? Self-compassion, yeah, and be more clear. How would that self-compassion at the end of 2024 be different from what it was till 2023? If you're playing the role of a parent, of a son, daughter, husband, wife, team member, boss, in each of these roles, what is going to be different at the end of 2024 than what it was till 2023? Okay, so for those who just joined, we have spoken about what roles do you play. The first thing we spoke about was what is the word you want to give for the year 2024. Second thing I asked you is what different roles do you play in life and with respect to which person, including the role that you play towards your own self. And my question right now is that what are you going to create additionally? How are you going to enhance this relationship with this particular person, even if it is your own self, differently by the end of 2024? How is 2024 going to be further enhanced, more improved version of the role that you're playing so far till 2023? Yeah, be more courageous for self. Yes, experience self, good health, physical and mental, social, professional, spiritual. Good, good. What about relations? Build more love and connection with my kids and family. Okay, good. More compassion towards senior citizens of family. Okay, provide more supportive, motivating, and healthy environment to my kids. Great, thank you for sharing. Good. Be more empathetic, cooperative, caring, considerate. Okay, good. I want you all to visualize December 2024. We had done a bit of that last time, but now we are talking with respect, specifically with respect to these rules. Can you chunk it down further about what you're going to do? Like what Varsha has written, good health, physical, mental, social, spiritual, professional. What in each of these areas, how would you chunk it down? What do these things mean to you? Like in terms of health, what is going to be different in 2024 when it comes to your health? Or professional growth? What is going to be different in 2024 when it comes to your professional growth? Well-balanced life, focus on healthy diet, being regular for exercise. Good. See, whatever you are all sharing, these are all good starting points. And I'm sure this, what I'm telling right now, is also applicable for those who have not written anything in the chat box yet. Whatever you have written is probably a good starting point. As NLP practitioners and master practitioners, we know that the power is there in the clarity of the outcome. And the clarity comes by chunking down further into what is going to be the evidence criteria. Again, I'm using NLP jargon over here, but the evidence criteria, by that, what I mean is, how would you know that you are going to be more communicative, well-balanced, regular? These are all chunked up words. These are all, again, linking it to meta model violations, nominalizations, chunked up words, chunked down. What specifically is going to be different? I want to remind you of the basic core principle of well-formed outcome. What is the first principle of well-formed outcome?
Specific.
Specific. Know your outcome precisely. In fact, the entire process of well-formed outcomes in practitioners focuses on knowing your outcome precisely. Before we get into actions and before we get into what's to be done, it's about knowing very, very specifically with full clarity. So let this be a reminder to you from what you have learned in your NLP practitioner. Whatever area or role that you're writing down, what specifically are you going to do? Or what is the specific outcome that you want to work on? Auditor of my health and energy, more projects completed. More means how many more? Even one more is more. See, I'm just poking you on the language that you are using to align you with a clarity of what you want. Okay, more projects completed, new products launched, end of the year, very less pending work to carry forward. Good. These are all very good starting points. Daily 4 to 5 kilometer walk for average 4 days in a week throughout the year to enhance the fitness. Very good. Be in the cause mode. Yeah, of course, that applies to all the principles and processes in NLP. Apply my learning. Okay, good. Evidence criteria. How will you know that you're applying your learning? You don't need to answer me, but you need to be clear in your mind. Finish work before deadlines. Yeah. Talk with kids for 5 minutes without distractions every day. Hour of power every day. Take action after learning. Very good. Very good. Okay. Consistently save 20% of salary for all 12 months before starting spending for the months. Excellent. See, thank you for sharing all this, Prashant. These are some wonderful inspirations for all of us to understand what chunked down goals and outcomes mean. Clarity. Evidence criteria. How would you know that you are doing this? It could be in terms of something that is specific, measurable, tangible. Yes. Now tell me, based on whatever you have written, which NLP tools and techniques will help you to get there? Swish, yeah, that is one of the things. Yes. What else? Anchor, yeah. Chunking, well-formed outcomes. Logical levels, yeah. What else will come to use? I want to earn 2 lakh rupees per month and project my confident image in front of my husband and my kids. Superb. Good. Overcome limiting beliefs, yes. And how? Six-step reframe, yeah. Some of you mentioned, no, without procrastinating, without this, without whatever you don't want. Whatever is the away from, वो क्यों आ रहा है? Understanding that. Right? Reframing, yeah. Circle of excellence. What else? When you talk about relations with other people, what can help you? Timeline, yes. Well-formed outcomes, anchoring, rapport building, wheel of life, rapport, yeah. Anything to do with other person, rapport will help. Chunking will help. Presuppositions of NLP, yeah. Fly on the wall, behavioral flexibility, fear and lack of confidence stops me, yeah. So what can you do? Good awareness, Swati. What will you do for that? Which techniques can help you? Reframing, yep. But Jackie, I think everything will help you, right, from NLP. Now, the thing is that how do you stay in touch with your learnings? How many of y'all here, honestly tell me, are constantly applying whatever you have learned? Or rate yourself on a scale of 0 to 10. How would you rate yourself on applying whatever you have learned? My first day, don't know NLP techniques. Great, welcome, Swati. 6 to 7. Okay, good. 6, 4.5, 5. Okay. 3, 1, 5, 2. Only under pressure, 5. Okay. 2. Thank you. Thank you for the awareness and thank you for honestly sharing that. 1 to 2. Okay. So I want you to take a moment and think about it. What is it that will help you to stay on course with the learnings? Awareness, of course. Practice. Yeah. Mostly limiting beliefs I'm constantly aware of. Okay, even having hat of NLP most of the time whenever I'm conversing with anyone for the entire day. Great, thank you for sharing. Good. So before we get into recapping a few techniques, I want to share with you, that is an important announcement I want to share, that we have been getting this feedback that you know, we need something on the whole to stay in touch with the learnings. Okay, and we have something for you. Would you be excited to know that? Yes. All right. So let me invite Pawan to share a few things, and then I'll take it forward from there. Pawan.
Happy New Year, everybody. Have a great 2024.
Happy New Year, sir.
How are you all doing?
Happy New Year, sir.
Good. Just wanted
Happy
to.
New Year.
Yeah,
Happy New Year, Pavan.
Happy New Year to everybody.
Yes, everybody.
Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody.
2024. Good.
Great to hear you, Pawan sir.
Happy New Year, everybody.
New Year will become old in 4 or 5 days.
Yes, sir.
For
For sure.
the entire year is your choice. So I'd recommend that you rather say happy 2024. Okay, good.
Yes, happy 2024.
Generally, I don't appear on the Wednesday sessions. Okay. I don't appear on the Wednesday sessions generally, but I came in today because it's the first session in 2024. And I actually liked the way Mehernosh has put up the RRR, then KGF. God knows what all he will come up with more. Those who are in the master practitioner already know this dialogue of his. Movie nahi dekha to kya sikha. He's a big time fan of movies and then keeps relating movies with life very well. So that's a wonderful thing. आपका व्रत होता है सर? किस चीज का व्रत भाई? मेरा कोई व्रत नहीं होता है, मेरा सिर्फ खाने का व्रत होता है. Okay, good. So I'm sure you all are enjoying this, right? The Wednesday sessions. How many of you are regulars here? How many of you came today looking at RRR, KGF, and how many of you are regulars? और टाइटल अच्छा लगा इसलिए आ गए. Not yet watched. Regulars. Usually regulars. Okay. Good. Fantastic. Wonderful. So these Wednesday sessions are now going to take a little bit of a larger form. Mehernosh will tell you more about it shortly. But it comes with the ability to get recorded Wednesday sessions also, and a lot more. Mehernosh will tell you more. That is because Wednesday being a weekday, not everybody can join in. And also because until now it was more of revision sessions, but Mehernosh is planning to add more value through the Wednesday session starting now. So he will tell you more, but I just wanted to come and say hi because some of you I've been seeing through the master practitioner batch or through the present practitioner batches. Some of you have been here for a while, but I haven't seen you because I don't come on this platform too often. So great, good to see you all. Good to see you all being in practice, staying in touch with the concepts, knowing more and more. Some of you I can see are here like from 2020, 21. Wow.
Yeah.
Good. Any specific resolutions? Any super awesome resolutions? You know, not the Ghisa Pita ones. Not like I will exercise, I will breathe properly, I will eat properly, I will wake up early, I will sleep late. Oh, wala nahi. Any specific resolutions?
I will do my
Something.
doctorate this year.
Ah, wow. Good. That is too much of work, no?
But very fulfilling.
Any awesome resolutions to take inspiration from? Doctorate is one, of course. Somebody planning to climb top 10 peaks of the world, swim across the ocean, skydivings. Ah, what a resolution, Varsha. Wonderful. Probably a game changer in your life. Anybody who can do this can really excel very well in life. Refrain from giving advice unless it is asked for. Unsolicited advices are generally taken as comments, not as advices.
Paid for.
Even better is if they're paid for. Okay, interesting. Gratitude encyclopedia. Wow. Good.
Amazing.
Okay. So how was RRR for all of you? How many of you had a good reflection of your life till now? Not just 2023, but overall. Cool. Prashant is saying no brushing of teeth whole year like last 3 months. Wow. You saved so much plastic, so much toothbrush, and so much of time and energy in the morning. Good. Wonderful. Carry on, guys. I just want you to come over, say hi, and I'll hand it over to Mehernosh again. Look forward to see you more and more times. I will also be attending some of these now because I have been having a word with Mehernosh and I know he's going to make this very interesting. So I'm also going to join these a few Wednesdays from here on and we'll stay in touch. Okay. Thank you
Awesome.
so much. Thanks,
Thank you,
man.
Pawan.
Have a good one.
Thanks. See ya.
Bye.
Okay. So we have something interesting which has come up, and Pawan and I were discussing that a lot of people ask for recorded access to the Wednesday schools. Okay. Now we have not been giving that because Wednesday sessions are experiential, like you do it on the spot and you do it. So we are trying to make the Wednesday sessions in a way that they can be experiential also. And even if you watch on recording, you can take the learnings. Apart from that, when I asked you that what do you need in order to stay in touch with your learnings, we asked a few people कि last time manual कब खोला था, तो वो तभी कोर्स के साथ असाइनमेंट के लिए देखा था, तभी देखा था. We want to remind you that the manual is there for you, it is available for you, and there is a lot of value in the manual itself. Yet there is a lot of requests which comes up for the recordings of the practitioner sessions itself. Now recordings we are giving, and that is only till your convocation is there, and then we take away the recordings, right? But I think we are also working on the feedback that you have given that you need the recording access so that you can go back and watch. We are willing to give that as well, on one condition. And the condition is that you will refer to them. See, the only reason why we have been refraining from giving lifelong access is that people say, अच्छा है, recording है, तो फिर देखेंगे बाद में, वो बाद में कभी आता नहीं. But we urge you, because we are acting upon your feedback, we urge you that please go back and watch the recording. Okay, and as Pawan said, lot more value adds are coming up, lot more different courses are coming up, different insights from NLP perspective is coming. And with that, we have created this concept of a W3 NLP club, where you will get access to all the Wednesday recordings from now onwards, and also lifelong access to practitioner recordings. And some more things that we'll keep doing will also be there.
Not masters?
No, that will not be there. Not yet so far. We'll think about that later. This club access will come at a slight nominal charge. The pricing for that is only rupees 5,000, where you get a lifetime access to your practitioner recordings as well as the Wednesday sessions. And we have added a very interesting tarka in this package. Any guesses what the tarka is? What could it be? Something I'm sure you would not be able to get it, but still, थोड़ा try करो. Because इतना कुछ दे नहीं है अभी और क्या बचा है? What else can we do? Some assignment नहीं यार आप certified हो गए हो. Mind maps तो already है. Both of you come free, okay?
Refresher course is free.
Refresher courses will happen. That was anyway part of the Wednesday sessions which are happening alternate days, alternate Wednesdays. NLP book reading. Okay, that we will keep. We will also do some book insights based on NLP. Okay, that is there. वो तो सब ऐसे ही आएगा. The additional tarka is this. Listen carefully. In the practitioner, you have noticed that Pavan teaches some topics and I teach some topics. The recording access that we are offering you is going to be in such a way where I will be teaching all the topics and Pavan also will be teaching all the topics. You'll get access to recordings from both different perspectives of all topics. How's that? Exciting? Superb. So that is an additional value add. So we have conducted almost 30 batches so far. We will be picking up the choices or the best of the best that we've done, and wherever we've done before, we are going to share the recordings of that. Okay. So as I said, this comes at a small nominal fee of only 5,000 rupees. I will share the link in the WhatsApp group also, and I'll share it here as well. Just a minute. Okay, so you can register right away, and within a week you will start getting the access to the recording programs. RRR, we had thought of keeping it exclusive 1 week access, but we are going to keep that also. But remember that RRR ka impact is for the New Year transition. Okay, so abhi now because I've announced that it's going to be open for more, those who are yet to watch it, don't say कि वो भी बाद में देखेंगे, नहीं तो December 2024 के end में भी यही होगा. Okay, so don't do that. All right, give some discount on the recording program. Of course, we don't get into this is normally priced at 50,000, and then what do you want us to offer it at 10,000 bhi nahi, 7,000 bhi nahi, 5,000. We don't do all that gimmicks. We have offered one discounted price because we respect that this is what we can add value. So let's respect that. Okay. So it's already a kind of a very low bottom price. So we are not going to discuss on the pricing part. All right. But the value add, I'm sure you're going to get enough and more. Some things that we have not even committed, we will keep sharing. Of course, our recording bhi rahega. ये आज का recording bhi rahega. And whatever we keep doing, whether it is done by me or Pavan or by our NLP trainers who sometimes keep taking some certain Wednesday sessions, because you get a different perspective when you learn from somebody else. So all those recordings also will be available. Yes, lifetime access.
Thank
only-
you, but please include the masters also.
We'll talk about that later. Okay, because right now people in this forum are those who have not even done the masters. So right now we are talking about the practitioner. Yeah, all new additions, lifetime, and both perspectives, Pavan teaching, Mehernosh teaching, all topics. Okay? How does that sound? Awesome, good. Okay. So now let's continue on your 2024 goals. So I hope this package will help you to stay on track with your NLP learnings throughout 2024. Provided you go back and access it. Any help you need from our side, konsa topic is there in which video, definitely we endeavor to name the videos also in a way that you know which topics are there. But anything that you need clarification on, you can reach out to us when you start getting the access. Why did you not think of it before? How does that matter anymore? Okay. Jab jago, tab 2024. Okay. So now I asked you a few questions about the roles that you're playing, the relationships that you have, and what are your specific well-formed outcomes in each of those areas. So I want you to pick up any one of the various roles that you've written. The process that I'm going to take you through, you can do it for as many roles and as many areas that you want. But right now, let's take one area. Maybe the one which needs the most attention. Pick that area. Okay. And the goal that you have written, can we now align it to make it more well-formed? So let me take you through a quick recap of the well-formed outcomes. Okay, I'm not teaching the well-formed outcomes because you already know it. But we'll quickly run through all the criteria, all the steps of the well-formed outcomes, and through the same mind map that we have seen in the practitioner course. And as I take you through it, I want you to start answering the questions. You don't need to answer in the chat box, but on paper, keep fine-tuning the outcome that you have created for yourself with respect to the role. Okay, so before I start, please confirm that you have a particular goal in mind. Okay, don't sit with the attitude कभी देख लेते हैं बाद में सब goals पे apply कर लेंगे. Okay, don't do that. Take a particular goal in mind and let's deep dive into that goal. Good. Okay. So first checkpoint is got to be a goal and not a state. By now you know the difference. State is something which is intangible, something which is not clear, something which could be, yeah, I want to be happy, I want to have a better relationship. Like most of the things that you had written earlier in the chat box, most of them were more like states. More growth. वो क्या होता है, right? More happiness, more harmony. In order, if it is a state, I want you to further clarify that in order for me to get that happiness, that peace of mind, whatever you decide, that better relationship, in order to do that, what needs to happen which is tangible? Make sure it is written in a towards way and not away from. Okay. Away from is when you are very clear about what you don't want. Like, I will not procrastinate in this year. That is a away from goal. If you will not procrastinate, what will you do? The answer may be very obvious. I will take action. And our mind, our conscious mind is very logical. If I ask you if you'll not have this, what will you have instead? We all know opposites and antonyms in English language or whatever language you are writing in, and we will immediately come up with that. To remind you, the way to convert your goals from away from to towards is a small hack. For everything that is away from, come up with at least 5 towards element. When I will not be procrastinating, what will I be doing instead? So there is a question, if I want to work on my health goals and if there is no tremor, I don't want tremor or shiver, what instead? Firm hands, being able to hold a glass for 5 minutes at a stretch. So same question. If tremor is not there, what else will be there? Okay. So 5 things that you will get. And even if your goal is already towards, it helps to make it more clarity that, okay, what will I get when I do this? Which also gets addressed in another questions, but still. Communicate effectively. Okay. So how would you know you are communicating effectively? It is stated as towards only. That is fine. And it is a goal. That is also fine. But now we will make it further chunked down and clear with the SNTAR. Okay. Can you make it specific? When you say you communicate effectively, when you say nutrition, what exactly do you mean by that? Specific and simple. Specific को ज़्यादा complicate भी नहीं करना. Simple वाला specific. I'm heard clearly. Okay. And how would you know that you are heard clearly? Like, to just give an idea on the point which Shailaja is sharing, this was actually a situation in my own life. I used to have speech problems earlier. I used to stammer, stutter, clarity of speech was not there. I had a very nasal tone of voice. And I realized that, when I'm talking, most of the time people would ask me to repeat. Now, if I was at that moment and was working on, I want to be heard clearly. I measured it by noticing how many times people are asking me to repeat. Currently, they were asking me to repeat, let's say, 3-4 times. I made that 0. Okay. One stuck chalega. So step by step. So remember the 3 pillars of NLP, your sensory awareness right now. What is it in that area? I realized people were asking me 5-6 times. ऐसा क्या बोल रहा हूँ जो लोगों को समझ में नहीं आ रहा है? And I realized it was not because they were ignoring me or they were not listening to me. It was a speech defect. So I worked on it. But my measurable part was I'm heard. And that request to repeat is reduced. It may appear like an away from because that should not be there. So I said, वो अभी 5 बार पूछते हैं, 1 बार पूछेंगे. And धीरे धीरे that got eliminated. Proposal accepted. Yeah, even that is a good way to measure. So whatever I'm saying, I'm heard clearly and people are convinced. People say yes to me. Very good. That can be a one. Okay. So linked to specific is measurable. How would you know that this is being done? How would you know that your outcome is being achieved? Now here, your outcome that you are setting, and let me talk about the next point because that is what is relevant over here. The outcome that you're setting has to be time bound. So if I'm saying December 2024 ka goal hai, so by 31st December 2024, this is going to be there. How will I know that it is there? It need not be December 2024. It may even be by June 2024, I want this. There may be different milestones on different goals. That by June 2024, this should happen. Or maybe by March 2024 or Feb, whatever. Okay. So the goal that you have chosen, it need not be necessarily only a year-end goal. It can even be broken up into milestones. But the important point here is that for each milestone, how will you know that you are achieving your outcome? Yeah. Yes, Meena, that's a good one. New workshop, at least 5 students to start by end of Feb. Yeah. So you make sure that whatever specific and measurable you're putting, you put in with a time bound. Now, when we started the session, I told you to imagine end of December 2024. But you can have a whatever time you want along the year. Okay, is your goal achievable or not? Attainable or not? What question do we ask over here? Who remembers from practitioner? How do we figure out whether our goals are achievable? Who decides? Yes, the can question and the will question. And think about it, just since we are talking about refreshing NLP over here. This can question and will question is not just something which will be applicable to a well-formed outcome at a longer stretch, something that is milestone driven or target driven. You can do it for anything and everything. You have a deadline at hand. You can ask this can question and will question. There's something that you have taken up which you are not sure, hoga, nahi hoga, you can ask this question. And what is the question? Exactly, rate on 10. How would you rate yourself on a scale of 0 to 10, where 0 is not certain at all and 10 is most certain? How will you rate yourself that you can achieve this goal? That is one question. And the other question is, how will you rate yourself that you will achieve the goal? So no need to share in the chat, but you can just, whatever goal you have written, quickly ask yourself this. Goal to le liya hai, karna bhi hai, determination is there, motivation is there, okay, all that has to be done. What is your rating from 0 to 10? What should the ideal rating be? 10, exactly, 10 out of 10. And what to do if your rating is not a 10?
See what you have to change and do to attain that.
Not necessarily revisit, that is the last option. If your rating is less than 10, then ask yourself, what do you need to do to bring that rating to a 10? For each of the rating. And here again, what do you need to do has to be chunked down specific answers. Of course, you can use such behavioral flexibility, what changes are needed, but usme bhi what exactly you mean by that? With respect to your goal, whatever you have to do need not be answered in a way that I will take more action, I will do whatever it takes. वो of course अच्छा है, ये सब attitude के लिए अच्छा है, keep that attitude, but please ask yourself exactly tangible, chunk down actions क्या होंगे. Okay, when we teach this topic in practitioner, usually the logical levels aspect is not yet covered. That comes later. By now, you know the logical levels. So at this point, when we ask what needs to be done to bring the rating to a 10, you can here integrate it with the logical levels. For the ratings to become a 10, what do I need to change in my environment, in my behavior, in my capabilities, in my values and beliefs, in my identity, in my purpose? You can integrate that. Yes. All goals end up in enhancing our own worth by upskilling in certain ways. Of course, of course. Okay. Break down in smaller goals. Yeah. So be clear and look at that logical levels kahan fit hota hai in this particular aspect of attainable. So 0 to 10, can and will question, and what will you do to make it happen? And here the answer is, the question is framed as, what will you do to make sure the rating is a 10? The question is not, what needs to happen for the rating to become a 10? Can you tell me what's the difference between these two questions?
One is action oriented.
Yeah,
It's cause and effect.
cause and effect. Exactly. What needs to happen can even put you into the effect mode. This person should do this, economy should be better, customers should want my product, marketing, people should like what I'm doing, others pe chala jayega. But when I say what I have to do to bring that rating to a 10, I am into the cause mode. Responsibility is your own, correct? Okay, then of course, linking it to your higher purposes, how is it relevant to you? Is it meaningful purpose? How does it affect all areas of life? Is it responsible? So in master practitioner, when we talk about the ecology frame, how does it affect other areas of life? Can you chunk it up to understand what is the higher purpose? In fact, those who are master practitioners here can relate to this with your values. When we talk about relevant, how does it connect with your higher hierarchy of values? The top 5 that you came up with in master practitioner, you can link that over here as well. For those who are yet to do master practitioner, you'll come to know when you do it. But that's okay. As of now, whatever you have learned is good enough for you. Then the evidence criteria, the word which I used even in the beginning. Evidence criteria in NLP means basically how will you know that you have got it? Here we can integrate this with timeline as well. And this is a taste of what we did in RRR last week. When I told you, go into the future in December 2024. And let's say I'm doing the same RRR activity with you in December 24, and I asked you the same questions to reflect on. Here you can do it with respect to your goal. Imagine that end timeline, whether it is December or any time mid-year, where that goal is being accomplished. Go into that future point. Go there. Imagine the goal is already achieved. What will you see? What will you hear? Or rather, let me reframe that. Imagine that the goal is achieved. You are in that time frame. What are you seeing? What are you hearing? What are you feeling? What are you telling yourself? Here we are activating all the representation systems. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? When that goal is achieved, be there. In the as if mode, as if frame. So since we have people from practitioner and master practitioner, I'm taking the liberty of using some of the concepts from master practitioner as well. So in the as if frame, when you activate your representation systems of visual, auditory, kinesthetic, and auditory digital. And then write down with this visualization, with this evidence criteria, what did you see, what did you hear, what did you feel, and what did you tell yourself? It's like as if the goal is already achieved. How does it feel? Feels great, right? And as soon as you do that, please come back to the present moment. Okay, this is very important because you have got yourself associated in that future moment when the goal is achieved. And again, those who are familiar with the master practitioner, the verb tenses, I converted it from what will you see to what are you seeing to create that state of association. And from future tense to present tense. But now that I took you into that future, in that time frame, in that timeline, it's important to come back in the present moment so that you don't deceive yourself that, ye ho gaya. So where are you right now with respect to this goal? And now apply your sensory awareness and notice the gap between the awareness of the present reality and the outcome of the future. What is it that you will be doing? In fact, since all of you are practitioners and you know the topic of timeline, you can even integrate timeline over here. I'll share with you the technique how to integrate the timeline. When I ask you to think about the future, go out there in the future as if the goal is achieved, end of the year, and experience the feeling of that. Right? What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? What do you tell yourself? Sab ho gaya? Now stay there in the future, and from that future point, look back at your present self. Now that you have transversed this from present to the future, you're there in the future and you're looking at your present self. What advice would you give to your present self? What advice would you give your present self, as in what actions need to be taken, what resources need to be derived, what changes you have to make across all the logical levels? And then once you have shared that with your present self, come back on the timeline into the present moment. So that would be a good way to integrate the timeline with the well-formed outcomes. And now that you are in the present moment, notice what all actions you need to take that the future self advised you to do. As you notice all the actions that need to be taken, the next question in the process is, can this goal be initiated by self as well as maintained by self? Do you need anybody else's support in this? And if yes, the question is, what are you going to do to get that support? How will you stay in the cause mode, even if other people are involved? Next question. Would there be a context where you may want to drop this goal? Now here, since we are talking about a limited time frame of 1 year, 2024 end tak, this may or may not be applicable, but still it's a good point to check. Ecology frame. What will be the impact in other areas of life, and in what area, in what context, in what situation I may want to drop the goal. I'm okay even if this goal is not achieved. This is not meant to threaten you or demotivate you. The context could be a happy context also and a sad context also. So anything that may be a choice for you. The word here is choice, not default. Then we get into examining the consequences of achieving and not achieving the goal. Okay, and here, as we have seen, these are the 4 quadrants that we speak about. First one is, what will happen when the goal is achieved? You have already visualized this when you did the evidence criteria, but now we are talking about what will be the consequences of doing that. What furthermore, what will it give you? What will it lead to? These are going to be all your future rewards. What will start happening if the goal is not achieved? These will be your pain points. In spite of so much of planning, in spite of deciding to do it, in spite of being motivated, determined, in spite of learning NLP, समझो नहीं हुआ. How will that make you feel? What will be the impact of that in this area of your life, and impact of that also in other areas of your life? What will stop happening if the goal is not achieved? Which again gives you what are the pain points that are happening currently in your life. You don't want them anymore. 2 and 3 may be an overlap also. That is fine. And the fourth one is what will stop happening when the goal is achieved. So while 1 is future rewards, 2 and 3 are pain points, 4 is actually talking about your current rewards. These are basically your secondary gains. Things that can probably stop you from achieving your goal. Things which you're currently getting. Like let's say you want to write a book. But currently you are enjoying being out with friends or spending time with things that you like to do. But book writing will be probably a rigorous thing for you. So these are the things that will come probably and self-sabotage your own efforts. Bring them to your awareness. What will stop happening when the goal is achieved means what are those benefits, those comfort zones, those good things which I'm getting right now, which will probably stop happening once I start working actively on the goal, or maybe even after I achieve the goal. Maybe when I double my turnover, I double my income, I will get into a zone where I may start alienating some of my friends or connections. Okay, so maybe that is something your mind, your subconscious does not want to let go of. Or when you start working rigorously on your health, you may have to let go of the junk food that you currently enjoy eating. So bring that to your awareness that these are your secondary gains. Now tell me, what process can you integrate over here to help you to work on your secondary gains? Which technique from NLP helps you to address negative behavior or secondary gains? That's right, Alagu. 6-step reframe. Whatever is coming in the way. Remember one thing, what you resist will persist. So instead of resisting it, figure out what is the positive intention behind that thing. How can you still fulfill that positive intention? If not this way, what are the other ways in which your positive intention can be fulfilled? Right? Refer to your notes on 6-step reframe. So 6-step reframe is another powerful technique that can help you during the year to work on all those distractions, all those disturbances, all those other things all the negative behaviors that you really want to stop. Okay, so that is about the consequences. The last question in well-formed outcomes is your resources. What resources do you need and what resources do you have? And let this remind you of the NLP presupposition that we have all the resources that we need. So well-formed outcomes is something that can help you to get utmost clarity of your goals. And this is just the starting point. Then you work on your actions, what you need to do, your time frames, your targets, your accountability checks, and all of that. So type in the chat box what clarity you got on the goal that you picked up for 2024 with the help of well-formed outcomes revision. Be more specific. Good. So that was a very short recap of the well-formed outcomes process. When you enroll for the W3 NLP club, You will be getting lifelong access to all the recordings of practitioner. Well-formed outcomes in the practitioner course, takes almost 2 hours of explanation. So do watch that and revise it. Yes, will you 6-step reframe throughout? Good. Write down the subconscious aspects. Yes. Remember one thing. The principle of well-formed outcomes is this, that the goal setting is done by the conscious mind, but the goal getting is done by the subconscious mind. Well-formed outcomes works on triggering those elements of the subconscious which are usually ignored by the conscious. So take not only this particular goal, but all the goals that you have, each goal that you have, for each role and each area of your life through the well-formed outcomes process. The timeline showed me how to go in. Good. Write down the subconscious aspects, specifically what I want and my current rewards, which I will have to give up. Good. Will use 6-step reframe. Goal better defined with clear milestones. Good. I was ignoring my secondary gain, which was a speed breaker. Good awareness. And now you can use 6-step reframe. We will do, when we do practice sessions going forward, we will take up each of these sessions, each of these topics, and we'll again practice them. I became aware of the gap between the goal achieved and where I am now with respect to the goal I want. Good, good. Evidence criteria was self-inspiring. Good, and the next point I want to make is on that itself. Can we coach on the well-formed outcomes for goal setting in an hour? Of course, you can. You can. Okay, so bring that clarity. Now tell me, through the process of goal setting itself, what we did right now, the goal getting process or well-formed outcomes, which other techniques of NLP can be integrated with what we did right now? Few of them I already touched upon. Logical levels. At each stage, you can ask, or even after completing the entire clarity of well-formed outcomes, again later you can ask, what changes do I need to make in my environment? And 1 minute. Before you get into what changes you need to make, also ask yourself, what is working well in that level and what change needs to be made? Both. It's not that, see, when I say what changes need to be made, it appears like everything is currently going wrong in that and everything needs to be changed. Not that way. So also start appreciating what is going well in environment and what needs to be changed in environment. Same way for behavior, capabilities, values and beliefs, identity, and purpose. So you can integrate well-formed logical levels. Another thing, every secondary gain go through the process of 6-step reframe, correct? So where you identify all those things that you're currently getting as a reward, integrate the 6-step reframe. Those who have done masters, you can integrate your hierarchy of values as well. How does this goal align with your hierarchy of values? What belief change processes from masters can you apply so that you can make this goal work for you? Like in masters, we do belief change processes like belief re-imprinting or submodality belief change, the museum of old beliefs. What can you apply over here? What else can you integrate with well-formed outcomes? Timeline. I just gave you an example where you go into the future self, integrate that with your evidence criteria, take it along the timeline. From that timeline, give advice to your current self, come back. By the way, this process of future self advising your current self is part of which process? Future self giving advice to current self is actually a variation of a certain technique we have learned in practitioner itself.
Perceptual position.
Lie on the wall.
Perceptual position, fly on the wall. Yes. where we say the fly will give advice to you. Yahan pe fly nahi hai, your future self is giving advice to you because it has seen all the things that you've gone through. It is an application, a variation of perceptual positions. Apply that. You've already learned it. When you come back to your future self, to your present self, let the present self take commitment of the actions that the future self has given. Like the self position takes commitment of the actions that the fly is telling. Remember that? You notice how beautifully all the processes are integrated, although they're taught as separate techniques, step by step. When you have learned all the techniques, you have the power to integrate that and apply it in every area of your life. Okay, now tell me one more thing that you can integrate. Based on whatever evidence criteria we have created, we have worked on. What comes next? What can you do with those elements that you saw in the well-formed criteria, in the evidence criteria? Chunking, okay. Swish, exactly. Here. You've already been there in the future, seen what you're going to get, and now do the swish. For the swish to happen, you need to have a clear desired image. And what is a very important nuance of swish? Can you share it in the chat box? Yeah,
We
Parker.
again come back.
Come back, but what is the main thing in swish? Dissociate, exactly. Now let me talk a bit on this. Very, very important aspect when you're integrating it with your well-formed outcomes. When you did evidence criteria, you went into the future, you associated yourself with the outcome being achieved. You were there, you saw it happening. For swish, you don't need to see it happening, you need to come out and see yourself experiencing that. So the way to integrate swish and well-formed outcomes is when you are in the future, when you are in the well-formed, when you are in the evidence criteria mode, you are in the future, step out, come into the present. Notice your present self seeing your future self. And that picture which you create of the future self from the present point can become further detailed to do the swish. So maybe in a later session, we will recap swish also. Or anyway, when you're part of the W3 NLP club, you'll have access to all the lifelong recordings and you can revisit them whenever you want. So that is swish integrated. One last thing that you need, of course, to go forward is the right kind of state. The first point in the well-formed outcomes was that it should not be a state, it should be a goal. But for you to take action on the state, for you to take action on the goal, you need to have the right state. What are various states that you will need in order to take the action? Being in cause mode, yeah. What other states do you need? States as in emotions. Write it with respect to the goal that you have chosen. Resourceful state, yeah. What kind of resources would you need? It could be confidence, it could be courage, it could be clarity, it could be focus. I'm more than enough. The state of being motivated. What can you do to get into these resourceful states? What technique from NLP can help you?
Anchoring.
Anchoring. Which anchoring? Or which any specific
Circle of excellence.
Exactly, circle of excellence. Yeah, and Those who have done master practitioner, you can get into the leveler state as well. So there, coming back to the main principle of NLP, that we have all the resources that we need. You have all the tools, right? Whatever you worked on today is just one goal. And maybe some of you are just making notes, okay, first let me understand the process and then I'll work on one goal at a time. Whichever way you're pursuing this session, make sure that immediately after you complete this session, take one goal at a time and clarify them. Well-formed outcomes, logical levels, timeline, swish, 6-step reframe, anchoring, circle of excellence, values hierarchy, leveler. You are unstoppable, aren't you? Okay, so keep going forward. Keep that KGF on throughout the year. All right, so those who joined in late, just a recap of the offer that we have. In order to keep you connected with your learnings, we are starting this NLP club, W3 NLP club. And that will help you to stay in touch with all the learnings, because we are going to keep the access to the NLP practitioner courses available lifelong. Okay. Another thing is that not only the practitioner courses that you have attended, we may probably start with the latest one, but we are going to update the videos with the best of the best that we have done in the last 30 batches. And even whatever new comes up, we'll keep updating that. Another tarka to that is that whatever topics you have learned from me, you will also be getting access to Pawan teaching those same topics. And vice versa. Whatever topics you have learned, seen Pawan teaching, you'll learn from them. You'll see me also teaching the same topics. So you'll get a two-way perspective of every topic in NLP. Okay. Apart from that, all the Wednesday practice sessions will be recorded and will be put up in your club. There is a small fee for it, which is just 5,000 rupees, one-time fee. And I'll just once again share the link for those who missed out earlier. Okay, here it is in the chat box. So you can register, and within a week's time, the access will be given to you, at least for whatever recordings are there, and whatever we pick and choose from the best of the best, and whatever further will happen, even that will keep getting uploaded on that. Register. Thank you. Good. All right. So welcome to the W3 NLP Club, and keep going forward into the year. Yeah, Upma is asking a very interesting question. Unstoppable is away from. Yeah. That's why I didn't take that as the word for the year. But rather than that, okay, let's all put this together. Let's do this exercise. How can you convert unstoppable into two words?
Limitless.
No, that also talks about limit.
Path breaking.
Okay, chalega. Evolving, progressive, whatever it takes. Yeah,
Charging
progressive.
ahead. Charging ahead.
Yeah, yeah.
On
Growing.
the top. On the top.
On the top, yeah. Achievement, yes.
So is limitless also
keep
negative?
Forward. Yeah, limitless has a limit.
Okay.
See, being a master practitioner, now you can look at every word from what is presupposed in that. We've done presuppositions in language, right? So limitless presupposes existence of limit. And then you're saying, nahi, wo nahi hona chahiye. So, yeah. Continuous improvement. Yeah, good. Abundance, of course. Very powerful. Charged, progressive. All right, so that's it for today. And keep going forward and make 2024 the best year ever. There is lots more to come. And the fortnightly sessions will keep happening. And wherever possible, we'll also do an interim session like this, wherever needed. And we'll keep the learning alive. Okay, and keep pushing us forward. Sure, we are there for that. So gift for us. Thank you. All right, so before we close, those of you who want to take part into breakout sessions, I'll open up the breakouts. Okay, it's entirely optional. So, okay, there are some people over here who are joining a Wednesday practice session for the first time. So let me share that generally when we do the Wednesday practice sessions, I teach a topic, we revise it, and then I open up the breakout rooms. 9:30, I leave, but the meeting remains on. And if you want to continue practicing anything or just a brainstorming or discussion of any topic that we've discussed in NLP, you can continue doing that in your breakout rooms. The meeting will remain open till the last breakout room is in practice. So those who want to join can join. I'll just create it for you all. Okay. And Mansi is asking when is the next master practitioner batch? It will happen on 10th of March. Master practitioner happens every Sunday for 20 Sundays, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. And in case you miss out on a live session on Sunday, we replay the recording of that session on Tuesday mornings, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. In case you miss that also, then of course you have recording access as well. The idea of creating a live replay is that again, people choose to come back and participate and breakout rooms can happen once again in case you missed it on Sunday. Okay. So that is for the master practitioner. Okay. The next practitioner is happening from 13th of Jan. Saturdays and Sundays, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. for 5 weekends. Next TTT is happening from March end. Every Friday for 30 Fridays, 7:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. Yes, practitioner will become paid very soon. This is going to be the last batch of practitioner where it will still continue to be free. Okay. TTT is train the trainer. So once you have done your masters, then you become eligible for train the trainer, where you learn to apply the NLP concepts and practices and techniques to teach whatever you want to teach, including NLP. So you can actually become a trainer of NLP or become a trainer of anything you like, but learn how to apply NLP in public speaking, in teaching, in delivering. It's actually called as train the transformer. So whether you're a trainer or speaker or coach or a parent or a leader, applicable for all. All right. So
Can you please repeat the practitioner batches? You talked the dates.
13th and 13th Jan onwards, Saturdays and Sundays, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. All right. Thank you, Shivani. Yeah, Shivani, I have to get back to you on your WhatsApp message. I'll come back to you on that. Thanks for reminding me. Okay. So breakouts are open and it's up to you. Want to get into the breakout or outside the room? Your choice. Share link for practitioner. I'll do that in the alumni group itself. Okay.
Thanks.
All right.
Mehernosh.
See you. Thank you. Bye. Have a wonderful, rocking 2024. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mehernosh.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Bye
sir.
bye.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Thank you, Mehernosh.
Thank you, Mehernosh.